Hey guys, this is Moshe coming to you from Israel with a war update. Three additional aircraft carriers are being sent to the Middle East by America. The Carl Vinson, the Abraham Lincoln, and the Eisenhower. These aircraft carriers, one's in Asia Pacific and two are in the US. I would say you're looking at a good 2 weeks till they get here. Maybe one of them could get here slightly before. I don't know. Uh, this is not just for Yemen. I mean, it's really overkill for Yemen. I don't think that would be the case. These aircraft carriers are going to, okay, mommy, go. They're going to come with at least 4 escort vessels, which will be mixes of destroyers and missile cruisers. Now, there could be more, so the three would have at least 12 escort vessels. These escort vessels fire missiles for takedowns and for attacking. Now, they might have 5 or 6 with each ship, I don't know, but I'm rather certain it would be at least 4. 3 would be bare bones minimum, and I would say 4 to 6, probably about 4. Could be more, I don't know. Now, you know they're going to send submarines here too to protect them just in case. I would think probably at least 3 submarines as a guess. They never named submarines, but I'd be surprised if they didn't send some. There's already a lot of aircraft in the area. So you got, let's just say, I don't know, 75 or even 80 planes per aircraft carrier. Now, it appears that they'll probably relieve the Harry Truman when at least 1 or 2 of them get here. But they've extended the stay of the Harry Truman by how much, I don't know. So it might not be sending it back, so that might mean 4. Now, that's a lot. When they hit Iraq in the 90s, early around 1990, they had 6 aircraft carriers in the region. But the aircraft carriers today are more deadly, and the escort vessels can shoot better missiles, longer range missiles, more powerful missiles, and the planes are more powerful. So I don't think they'll ever send 6. So what I see here is a heavy attack on Yemen that would probably go for days and days. And Iran too. Now, they might just focus on Yemen first and then go after Iran, but I think it'd probably be a double effort. They'd probably get both about the same time. So Trump is, he's getting his street creds, his credibility is going up. In other words, people are taking him real seriously. Hungary and Serbia just signed a military alliance, and the president or the prime minister of Serbia just left office. I think he was, given an offer he can't refuse. So this is, we're getting there real quick. I don't think the aircraft carriers could get here in a week. I doubt that. Okay? The aircraft carriers that are in America, one's in the Pacific, one's in Norfolk. So they're going to need to call the crews back, take on stores, fuels, weapons. That's going to take a few days, and then they got to shove off. This appears to be confirmed. I wouldn't fall over in shock if it was not true, but I'm pretty sure it's true. I am rather certain this is real. So, Trump could change it, but I think it's real. So that's going to be an escalation of the mother of escalations, and to do something like this just to hit the Iranian nuclear factories or facilities is foolish to think that it's just that. That's really absurd. If you could see my partner, she's helping with the broadcast. She wants me to pet her while I do the broadcast. So yeah, that's really what I got. We hit Lebanon dozens of targets today. You could probably see the birds running around there. They're eating, so they're quiet. It's about 60 degrees outside. The sun's starting to set, but it's still out a little bit. So it's okay to sit outside now, but it's going to go down in the 40s tonight. Yuck. And then tomorrow we're going to go more up. We hit 63. We're going to go higher in the 60s tomorrow, but it's still going to be cold at night. And then the day after, it's going to get better, but still cold at night. And then I think Tuesday we're going to be in the 60s at night. So we'll be back in our early summer or very late spring or whatever. And then we're going to go back to the 80s in a few days after that. So that's the weather. The fig tree, summer is near. Harvest the summer, right? The wheat, the barley, and the wheat. The tares and the wheat, right? Okay. So, yeah, this is a rather serious development. And the Netanyahu division in the government is still, there's no breakthrough on that. It's still very, very tense. And tonight, when Shabbat's over, I think there's going to be a load of protests all over as well. I don't know, but yeah, Tel Aviv, probably Jerusalem. I don't know where else. Maybe nowhere else. I don't know. So, that's still ongoing. We attacked Gaza today, we attacked Syria today, and we attacked Lebanon today. There was some missile launches from Lebanon. As I told you earlier, a total of 5. 2 fell in Lebanon, 3 were taken down. And it turns out that the launches were made out of wood. So Hezbollah came out with a statement and said that it wasn't us. We don't want to escalate, but escalation happened. Israel did hit some leftover military stuff right outside of Damascus a few hours ago. So Damascus and the ruinous heap looks like it's on the way. The HTS government in Syria just doesn't say anything. They're just hanging on by their fingernails. The Gaza situation, Hamas said, yeah, we'll give up having power over Gaza. Let's just try to save Gaza. Well, that's not working, because the only thing that's going to be acceptable to Israel is demilitarization of Hamas, and then we want them out. They got to leave. So they're just playing games. Oh, we won't take over the power. Yeah, and as soon as we leave, they dig up their weapons, and whoever is in power, they say, now you listen to us or we kill your kids and your wives, That's the way that works. That's pretty simple to understand. There's no magic there. So that's not working. Fatah, I think you pronounce it Al-Fatah. They used to hijack the airliners back in the early 70s. And, they're still kicking around. And they told the Hamas to throw the towel in to save Gaza. Not that anybody's going to listen to them, but that's what they said. No word on the hostages. They're not giving hostages back that I know of. And they're not killing or torturing them publicly or otherwise, as far as we know. And no, Mommy, no. Come on. So that's really the update, I guess. So Um, it comes, it all comes, and it looks like we're barreling down the track, you know. The big question that I have, if we're going to have questions, is what will Iran and Yemen do right now that they know those aircraft carriers are coming here not because they're going to bomb Gaza or Lebanon or Syria or anything like that. They might be bombing Iraq and maybe Syria a little bit, maybe, I don't know, but Iraq should be in the crosshairs, and definitely the Khomeini character over there in Iran, you know. But this is way too much firepower to hit the nuclear facilities. That could be done with the aircraft already in the area. They don't need to bring more warships in for that, you know. So if they were going to run with 3 aircraft carriers, in other words, 3 new ones and the Harry Truman one goes home, then they're going to have probably about 220 aircraft on those ships. But these are pretty sophisticated aircraft. And this is, you know, combine that with all the other 12 or 15 warships shooting missiles. And, you know, you got yourself a real humdinger for Iran. I mean, you know, maybe Elam, Iran, in Jeremiah 49 does get it now. Maybe they're not going to have very much of anything left to attack America with. I don't read it that way, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe because it doesn't give us the precise details in the prophecy scriptures. So maybe this is doomed for Iran. But their sleeper agents are probably already in America. So, you know, that could be one way they're in the attack in America, and yet they're still going to get destroyed pretty quick. Is Iran going to try to negotiate with Trump? Unlikely. When the aircraft carriers are in the area, they'll probably just continue threatening Trump. Will Russia come in to help Iran? No. Russia's sitting there trying to slug it out with Ukraine, and nobody's winning that war. They're just knocking each other's lights out. Russia's not winning. Don't kid yourself. They are not winning. They're throwing more military resources at Ukraine, but they're not winning. Okay? Ukraine is still hurting them with oil refineries, military bases, and other stuff. So you can't say they're winning. Ukraine just successfully attacked either 2 or 3 Russian warships in the Black Sea in the last 24, 36 hours. So you can't turn around and say, oh, you know, they're winning. You know, Russia's winning. It's a joke. And Ukraine's not winning. So Russia's hands are full. I don't see Russia coming to Iran's aid. I see when Trump gets embedded in the Middle East, Russia with Belarus might attack Ukraine with much more ferocity, you know, a much more ferocious attack. That I could see happening. There's going to be implications too, like China and Taiwan and North and South Korea. That's another possibility. I'm not saying I guarantee you this is going to happen. I'm saying it's a possibility because they'll see America drawn out. They're going to have big problems in Europe when Belarus and Russia start pushing into Ukraine. Maybe Poland, they might try that and get America spread out, you know. That would be the best shot the axis of evil, North Korea and China and Iran and Russia have, is to get America embedded in the Middle East and Europe and in Asia at the same time. But the Pentagon guys know all that stuff. You don't have to worry about that. But this is the last days of them too. You know that. Okay, Mommy, go. I can't sit here and pet you now. Go. Go see who's barking. Go check it out. So, she went. It's a good watchdog. So that's basically it. And get ready to hear that trumpet from heaven and pick your head up, because your redemption draweth nigh. All these things are coming. They're coming. Does the world know this is coming? No. Can you help them? And can you teach them? Can you show them? Well, you've seen me do it. How far have I gotten? You know, you read them the scriptures, you interpret it, and they reject you. So that's the way it is. The days of Noah. Did they listen to Noah? No. Did they figure it out when the rain came? Yeah. Was it too late? Yeah. Like the days of Noah. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the update, and thank you for the prayers. And I'm out. Shabbat Shalom to all those who love Yeshua HaMashiach, although my Shabbat's going to be over in a minute or two. It's over already. Shabbat's already over. Okay, guys, thanks.